Hello Internet, welcome to the Collective Arcana, a channel all about tabletop gaming. Okay, I've got Miss Vex'ahlia all finished up. I'll go over a couple little things really fast. So for the back, just like we talked about, just continue to layer all that up. And then I just did one final ink wash with that bright primary blue to tie it all together. For the fur, I just did a neutrally off-white color, and then I washed it with brown, and then I washed it with black. Then I hit it a little bit with a dry brush, just very lightly in a couple of spots. So for the arrows, let me see if I can zoom in for you. So I originally painted all the top, that whole top bit, one color, and ink washed it, and I wasn't really happy with it. You could definitely get away with that, and maybe it'll look better if you do it maybe in a different color than white. But I decided to just go ahead and paint in the little feather bits, and I think it looks pretty good compared to what I had before. So that's what I did for that. Okay, moving on to the front. She's got a lot of detail, so I just wanted to talk about a couple of things. The first one is, especially if you've got this model handy, if you like tilt it back and look at it, she's got some pretty interesting stuff going on up here with her tatas. It's like there's 4 of them. I'm not really sure what's going on there, so I just sort of painted it dark so that it would just live in the shadows, and when you put her upright you can't really tell. So yeah, it looks like the armored part starts way down here, but these are almost like, I don't know, use your best judgment, but this is what I did. And then for her torso, I ended up actually painting in those lines because the dry brush was just, I guess, where there's just so much going on, it wasn't really getting in there the way I wanted it to, and it was getting kind of muddied up. So that's what I did personally. And then just a note about, there's a lot of browns going on here with the color choices I made. You could use black for some of these places too, but her boots, her gloves, her armor, her bow, the arrow, they're all different shades of brown, so I wanted to at least put some variance in them. I made her bow like a more yellowy brown, a lighter one, and then, or the arrow, I'm sorry, but then the bow I did like a reddish wash on, and then the leathers I just made standard brown. I also washed her belt a little bit too, just to break it up a little bit. I would recommend doing an ink wash and a dry brush, especially on things like her gloves. They're pretty detailed. Let's focus back. There we go. She's got a couple of belt buckles. She's got one here. And then she's got one there, there, and there. So she's got a total of 4 up here. And then there's some little ones on her boots. I almost wish I wouldn't have painted those because they just don't really make a ton of sense, but they're small, so. And then with her bow, I didn't really see any artwork that I could really reference for this, so I just did my own thing. I've seen a couple of different ones where they use blue on the bow, so that's an option you could go with. Then of course she has the one, you could maybe make it look like it's wrapped in vines if you're going off of the actual show. So there's a lot of options. This is a really cool mini and a really cool pose, but there's not a lot of guidance on how to do the color, so you get to make, you know, your own choices and do it however you want. So hopefully this helped you, maybe helped you pick colors out a little bit, see the details divided out. And of course next I will be tackling a trinket body, so stay tuned for that, and I really hope you enjoyed this and it helped you. If it did, we'd really appreciate a like and a subscribe. But thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.